Beep, beep.
It's going off again.
Yeah. We got to clear the room. Too much CO2, everybody.
We will not comply.
Global warming, climate change, or whatever they want to call it now. Oh my goodness. Put some plants in here. Liven it up.
No, that'd be way too much positive energy.
Yeah.
They would just all die.
They probably would.
I'm going to use this opportunity.
Basically, they wasted taxpayers' money on this building, and they can't provide enough fresh air.
I don't know if they got the vents off or what. They don't have AC. Oh, you guys, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like what she said, it's right, because you guys might be witnesses and then say stuff, I don't know. Ann wasn't there, so it's fine. We're gonna get, yeah, just for a minute, and then we'll get everybody back in. We're recording it all anyway, so. So that's just confusing. CO2 machines. You guys with your masks creating all that extra CO2. Oh, believe it. You think it's funny. How you feeling? You're almost lightheaded. You can't even stand up, bro. You're not fine. Your head's getting ready. Yeah, it's got a microphone.
No, that wasn't my question. Is it also, can you also...
Does it look like, what is it? I don't answer questions. I know, but I'm not going to answer your questions either because I don't like you.
Oh, okay. That's fair. You're free not to like me.
I know I'm not. I know I am.
Something different with your beard, and I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing. Your beard
I did cut it down based partially on your suggestion that my mask would be better if my beard was shorter.
That's why Hitler had that little stash, because they had to be able to put the gas masks on nice and tight. That's why that became popular back in the day. You was big mustache. Oh yeah, really? Look it up. So, you know, you're following Hitler's way. You're following the way of Hitler. 100%.
Just following orders.
Just following orders. Yep. Licking boots and... Yeah. And Google the FDA's warning about smoke particles and how the mask doesn't stop a smoke particle, right? And then you Google the size of a smoke particle to the size of a virus particle, and you'll see that it's over 10 times the size of a virus particle. So if it can't stop a smoke particle, it's certainly not going to stop a virus particle. In fact, it's just going to capture them all. Glad to see you took yours off. He's yawning. He had to take his off and get an oxygen break. Mr. Mask, he had the hardcore one on last time. Remember? You're YouTube famous, you know. You got shared across the country. I'm just telling you, you're a movie star at this point. You're a YouTube superstar. Look, he's holding on to the gate. He's ready to fall over. We might need to call an ambulance. So a while ago, I dumped them, and they were only supposed to be standby counsel. And then they've been still like getting up there and like acting like, and then kind of like pushing me off to the side, and the judge is ignoring me when they're only supposed to be mine. So they should be having separate things. Yeah. They're trying to consolidate everything. We should be having all separate trials is what we should be doing. Yes. Can we just open the, like, you guys don't have vents? You can't turn like the vents up? you know. I do think it's the maskers producing extra CO2. Really bad for you guys. Why don't we just open the doors for oxygen? Your Honor, how about we open the doors a little bit just to let everything out and get some circulation? I don't know. CO2 detector. Like, really? It's
Ms. Todd, this is essentially an ex parte communication right now, so I'm going to just ask that you refrain from speaking. We're not on the record. Right, ready?
so everybody can see. Got everybody out there. Yeah, I am. Just documenting. It's ridiculousness.
Okay, the hallway needs to be quiet. Can you quiet it down, Peter? No, just tell them that they need to be quiet.
Down, please, judges on the bench. Shut the doors. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So just, I don't know if you could hear Ms. Todd. Ms. Todd was saying that she was having a hard time hearing you. So I'm going to try to move the phone so that can we put it on a podium, maybe move the podium up? Okay, just so that she has a better chance of hearing. Just so the record is clear, the CO2 alarm was going off because the courtroom was full. So we have now asked the defendants to remain in the courtroom. We've had the other people who are attending, the public is standing in the hallway. Who's speaking?
Probably one of her kids.
Okay, Ms. Todd, can you mute your line, please? Ms. Todd?
She probably can't hear you from that far away. You guys don't have like a conference thing right there?
Thank you.
Isn't there a conference thing over there? Like, it's not really, but.
So, the record is clear, the public is in the hallway, the doors are open. If they want, they can call into the proceeding, but in order to be able to resume and continue without having the alarms going off, we're just going to limit the number of people in the courtroom. Okay, so we had discussed the video. Is this when everybody would like me to view the video, or do you want to keep going with your argument and show me at the end?
I'd like to segue to the video right now. We're only going to play you about 5 minutes of it.
Okay.
There'll be about a 2-minute lead-in before the police begin their measures. And what I don't want to narrate through it, I just want to let the court to watch it. But we're going to be focusing on the lack of statements, the lack of disruption, and the lack of reaction from the audience. I also submit to you that this now it's visible, the entire time. Mr. Staples is part of the time, and Ms. Cole for most of the time. Those are the three who are most, I think, affected by the video. The others, I'll leave that to Mr. Staples, because he'll be arguing that portion of the motion. I'm going to be concluding quite soon, but thank you for your patience.
Judge, if I could approach that, not the video, it's connected to the Bluetooth speaker, you can apply the audio.
Okay. That's right.
And I'll move it to your, just taking that out of your right hand.
So just because I'm not familiar, this was.
It's part of the evidence. This is what the.
We're gonna make sure you have access to this entire video.
Thank you. All right.
We've already got it downloaded, so we can produce it onto a thumb drive, a disc, whatever you like.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll get you a copy.
Along this wall here, there is I think a series of tables that have been set up with members of the state police, and I think a couple of people from the Department of State Chief, some people from the General Office, they're all sitting along this wall.
Okay.
Sort of a regular watching this from sideways, as I said. A group of big neighbors, all over here, and the general office.
Okay, and if this one has, this is like an hour and 16 or 18 minutes into the meeting, like.
1 hour, 15 minutes, and 16 seconds. Yes, sure.
Pretty clear about paying upfront fees. Probably 3 meetings ago, or the last time we done it, the time was there, but it was clear that we didn't approve of contracts to pay upfront fees. Love to hear your answer.
The funding for this, they will invoice us when they set up.
So it's a cost reimbursement for the setup, it's not an upfront, it's not an upfront payment.
Well, there aren't many companies that I know out there that are public companies that people will give them a contract if they're paying up front for a setup. This is a setup fee, and we're paying them, whether it's coming back later. That's just the same thing this council said no to.
I don't believe it is, what the council said no to was an upfront advance payment to set up. What we had talked about was that most of these companies should be able to invest in the upfront costs without us giving an advance payment. So what we did is we changed our tactic with our negotiations so that they are required to do the upfront investment and then invoice the state afterwards their costs to set up programs. This is, I would say, pretty typical to have your costs reimbursed when you're setting up a new program. So we can either do it on a one-time payment, on an invoice, or they can roll it into their monthly invoice. Either way, they're going to have their costs reimbursed, especially when they're setting up new programs in the state of New Hampshire. They have to hire people, do all of those things, maybe rent a building, that type of thing.
Yes. I can tell you that I would never approve this contract. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It's still paying for their setup, which is wrong. And this council shouldn't be doing that. We can do it whatever way you want to do it.
So the council is against reimbursing companies for their costs to start a contract.
Correct. If they're providing a service and the service is $3, then they should increase their service price to make the accommodations for those setup prices. Because that's what most companies that are private companies do.
So you would rather see their setup cost integrated into their monthly invoicing instead of a one-time invoice cost after they set up?
I'm not looking to pay for their setup costs at all. You can twist the language, whatever.
I'm not twisting the language, Counselor.
And what I'm looking for is for them to do business as most companies in this country do. If you want a business, come in and do the service.
If I may,
When we set up a $50 million MMIS system with a lot of upfront hardware, it takes years. We pay for that hardware as they go before they bill us for the management of the system. To be fair, we don't pay for them upfront, but as they put in the servers and all this kind of stuff, it's multi-million dollars. We do pay